How will the Emperor maintain control without the bureaucracy?
The regional governors now have direct control over their territories. Fear will keep the local systems in line. Fear of this battle station.
Not all empires are built on loyalty. This one was built on fear. The philosophy is known as the Tarkin Doctrine, named after Will Huff Tarkin, the man who gave the Empire its soul of steel. After the Clone Wars, the galaxy was shattered. Worlds lay in ruins, trade routes collapsed, entire generations were sick of fighting. The new Emperor promised order and security. But there is a cold truth that must be acknowledged. Space is too vast to occupy every planet with troops. That would bleed the Empire dry and invite endless rebellion. So Tarkin offered a ruthless solution. Don't try to control everything. Control the fear of what happens if you resist. Make one devastating example, and the rest will fall in line without a shot fired. Nothing embodied this better than the Death Star, a weapon designed not merely to destroy, but to deter. One super laser, one planet erased, and the message echoes across the stars. Rebellion equals annihilation. Emperor Palpatine embraced the doctrine completely. Why? Because it was brutally efficient. It let him rule a galaxy-spanning empire with a leaner military while keeping real power concentrated in his hands. No need for loyalty that could breed rivals. Only terror that kept every world compliant. Fear did the governing for him. This became the Empire's foundation. But as we'll see in this video, not everyone inside the Empire believed it was the only way.
Your TIE Defender program is at risk. Orson Krennic has been quite persuasive about diverting the funding to his own project, Stardust.
Not everyone in the Empire believed fear was the answer. There were a number of opposing ideologies to the Tarkin Doctrine, and one of the most important was Grand Admiral Thrawn's. Thrawn disagreed with the core methodology behind it. Fear creates compliance, not loyalty. And the moment that fear is broken, rebellion spreads faster than control. Rather than pouring vast resources into colossal superweapons, Grand Admiral Thrawn advocated a more pragmatic approach. Invest in building a larger, more versatile fleet of capital ships. He prioritized adaptability, precision strikes, and tactical flexibility over sheer intimidation or overwhelming scale, recognizing that a well-coordinated navy of efficient vessels could achieve far greater strategic dominance than any single vulnerable behemoth. He also believed the Empire should focus on studying its enemies, their culture, their art, their patterns of thinking. Because if you understand how an enemy thinks, you can defeat them before the battle even begins. He also criticized the Empire's core reliance on disposable forces like standard TIE fighters, pushing instead for more advanced, durable designs like his TIE Defender project.
The Emperor has assured me that he supports my project.
To Thrawn, power wasn't about being feared. It was about being unpredictable, efficient, and always one step ahead. Because a galaxy ruled by fear will always resist. But a galaxy outmaneuvered and loyal will never get the chance.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours!
This is part 2 of the opponents of the Tarkin Doctrine, and this time it's Orson Krennic. Now this might sound strange. Krennic helped build the Death Star, the ultimate weapon of fear, but his philosophy wasn't the same as Tarkin's. Tarkin believed you didn't need to use power often. the threat alone would control the galaxy. But Krennic disagreed. He believed in control through targeted demonstrations of overwhelming force, not random destruction, and not just empty threats. Krennic wanted the Death Star used selectively to destroy key targets, prove its power, and reinforce the Empire's authority through real, undeniable examples. Because to him, fear only works if people know it's real. And that's the key difference. Tarkin ruled through the idea of fear. Krennic wanted control through proof. But in the end, Krennic lost control of his own creation. The Death Star was handed to Tarkin, and Krennic was left with nothing but the weapon he built, turning its power on him.
Director Krennic. Lord Vader, you seem unsettled.
Not all opposition to the Tarkin Doctrine was loud or political. Some of it was quiet, more personal. This is part 3. Darth Vader. Vader never rejected Tarkin's vision outright, but his every action revealed a much darker philosophy. Tarkin believed in fear of force, the Death Star as a shadow hanging over the galaxy. One button, entire planets erased, and the rest would fall in line. Vader, he was the Force. He didn't wait for fear to spread. He hunted it down, choked it out, personally broke rebel cells, interrogated leaders in the shadows, and became the nightmare that never stopped coming. Where Tarkin trusted in the threat of destruction, Vader delivered the certainty of it. And here's the subtle truth. Vader understood that Tarkin never fully accepted. Fear fades when the weapon is far away. But a hunter who appears in your cockpit, your base, your dreams, that kind of fear never sleeps. So while Tarkin built weapons to intimidate the galaxy into submission, Vader became the weapon that ruled the souls inside it.
Until this battle station is fully operational, we are vulnerable. The Rebel Alliance is too well equipped. They're more dangerous than you realize. And what of the rebellion? If the rebels have obtained a complete technical readout of this station, it is possible, however unlikely, that they might find a weakness and exploit it.
Not all opposition to the Tarkin Doctrine was quiet or personal. Some of it came from cold, professional military logic. This is the final chapter. General Cassio Tagge. Tagge believed the Empire should rule through actual overwhelming military superiority. He never denied the need for fear, but he saw the Death Star as a dangerous gamble, an expensive symbol that could be destroyed or bypassed. Tagge wanted the Empire to invest in proven fleets, superior tactics, and a professional officer corps that could win wars, not just intimidate planets into submission. You saw this tension clearly on the Death Star bridge. Tagge openly warned that the rebellion was dangerous, and that putting all faith in one battle station was foolish. He pushed for a conventional strategy, use intelligence, coordinated fleet actions, and relentless pressure instead of one dramatic display of terror. Where Tarkin trusted the threat of annihilation, Tagge trusted the reality of disciplined military dominance. Tagge understood a subtle truth the doctrine often ignored. Fear can backfire when people realize the weapon isn't invincible, but a competent, ever-present Imperial Navy. That kind of pressure is much harder to resist. Across this series, we've seen different visions for the Empire. Thrawn's cultural understanding and emphasis on loyalty, Vader's personal, unrelenting hunt, Krennic's technological ambition, and Tagge is traditional military professionalism. All of them operated inside an empire built on the Tarkin Doctrine, rule through fear. But each believed in their own way that the Empire could be stronger, smarter, or more lasting if it evolved beyond pure terror. In the end, the Doctrine gave the Emperor the control he so desired, but it cost the Empire its long-term future. So that begs the question, which Imperial philosophy do you think could have actually won?